How's it going, everybody? My name is Jim, and welcome to Restoration Projects. This video is going to be about rebuilding these hand wheels from this cheap plastic that had a brass insert that broke and made this thing unusable to making these aluminum knurled hand wheels. So as you can see, I've already done the tailstock and the cross slide here. The last one we have to do here is for the advancing of the lead screw. So this is just some aluminum stock. I've knurled it, drilled it out, tapped it with the hole for the main shaft, and then I've also had to drill and tap a hole for the hand wheel here. So just wanted to kind of show you the process I went through to do this, and yeah, it's just some fun lathe work. So let's go over to the lathe and start making this thing work. Alright, we're over at the lathe now, and I'm just using my 3-jaw chuck to hold the part, and we're just taking a facing pass here. So the tool that I'm using is a button nose insert, and it leaves a really nice finish on this aluminum. Then here we're just using the knurling tool, and just to take one pass here at the slowest speed that I can use my lead screw on. And now we're getting ready to drill the hole for the thread that we're going to tap here. So it was a pretty small tap, so I just used the associated drill bit that was designed for that tap. And now we're chamfering it. And when starting to tap here, I'm holding it in the chuck there so it gets started in straight. And then I'm using the hand tap, and I have the headstock there in free spool so that you can see the chuck spinning as I'm turning it. That way it keeps it soft, and that way I'm not hitting any hard stops with it. That way I reduce the chance of breaking this tap. That is a high carbon steel tap. It is not a high-speed steel tap, so it's a little bit more brittle, and I don't want to break a tap in this. So now I'm getting ready to countersink this hole here. So I took a 1/2-inch drill bit, and now I'm using my boring bar just to make a pocket in there for the nut to sit in, because it's countersunk into the handle. So we're just cleaning everything up. Now we're done with the 3-jaw chuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the 3-jaw, and we're going to install the 4-jaw so I can do the next operation. Okay, so you can see how this is set up in the 4-jaw chuck here. This part is pushed out toward the back wall here. And I've left these 3 jaws here the same. The only one I've moved is this furthest out one, and I've done this on all 3 pieces. So my hole is going to line up the same spot on all 3 of these. So let's go ahead and drill this. I know for a smaller drill bit like what I'm using here, speed is probably better to use, but with it being kicked out to the side and being such a long piece hanging out there, I'm wanting to go slow on this. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to get a lot of centrifugal force going, because if I have a lot of centrifugal force, even though this is an aluminum part and doesn't weigh a whole lot, I could have this thing kicked out or come loose in those jaws, because the 3 jaws on that are more centered, they don't have a ton of bite compared to if this thing was centered in here. So this is just one of those processes where slower is better. Take my time, not get in a hurry. Now that we have this hole drilled, I'm going to switch over and I'm going to use a spiral flute tap here to tap this. So add a little bit of oil, send my tap through, and I'm just getting started there. Now I'm removing the chuck, and we're using a hand tap here to finish it off. Yes, it is true that a spiral flute tap pulls the chips out the back so they don't bind up in there like a traditional tap does, but it's such a small tap I'm worried about breaking it. So I went ahead and did that by hand. Throwing the 3-jaw chuck back on here, putting our part back in, and now we're going to start the parting operation. So parting, this is kind of, it's my nemesis. I have not had very good luck with it. So like I said, I'm going at a 9x speed in this video. Using a little bit of oil here definitely does help. And I'm getting better at it. I found I've had better luck with high-speed steel instead of indexable carbide tips, because I keep breaking them. So one of these days I'll get good at this operation. Now that we have the part parted off, I'm putting it into the 3-jaw chuck again and just cleaning up the backside here and then flipping it over. And we're going to take the original tap that we made the center through hole with, and I'm just cleaning up the threads in here. And I wasn't able to tap it all the way through the first time, so just going through here, finishing up those threads. As you can see, the head, the chuck there is loose. That way it can spin if I meet some resistance. That way I'm less likely to break that tap. So we're just going through, cleaning everything up, and doing our last little chamfer on the back, and over the workbench. All right, we are done with this. As you can see right here, I have a little bit finer knurling pattern there, and that is because I'm going to swipe my fingers or the palm of my hand, because I'm going to have to make a lot of rotations to pull that carriage front or back along the bed. The tailstock here and the cross slide, I use a little bit heavier knurling just because I'm going to grab onto it, and I like the feel of it. So yeah, overall, really happy with this project. It only took a couple hours to do, and it's a lot of fun. I really like knurling and just making, finish work on the lathe. So hopefully you guys got something out of this video. If you did, please consider smashing that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. And if you want to see other type of content, please let me know down in the comments. I want to bring value to my viewers. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.